What's up, everyone? This is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing well myself. Oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about. We got World War III starting, the SAVE Act, a new one. Apparently, there's a couple of them. We got a new SAVE Act that's coming out. Harrison is blasting Trump on abortion, and finally, we have an update with Fannie Willis. DOJ has found some inconsistencies with her filing or with her fundraisers. Wait, what was it? Inconsistencies, use of some federal grant money. So we'll read about that. But first, before we get into any of that, we do have an interesting thing going on. Trump's first felony trial, criminal trial, has started. Starting today, they're doing jury selection today. So that'd be interesting. We're not going to watch the trial, mainly because right now it's just jury selection. Two, it's probably going to be extremely boring. I also don't know if it's actually being videoed or streamed or whatever. So I don't know if we can even watch it. But we're not going to watch it regardless because it's not going to be very interesting. The OnlyFans murder trial ever comes about, that's the one I'll be watching because that's going to be very interesting. So we're going to look at what we're going to look at about Trump's first criminal trial is basically his first talk. He did a little speech before he went in, so we'll look at that real quick, and that'll be it. Sorry, I'm tired. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk, or we already discussed what we're going to talk about today. So before I get into any of that, some housekeeping. Make sure you follow me on X at officialwghost. That's the best way to find me. As you'll see when I go live and everything, when I tweet it out, etc., 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 etc. Rumble.com/withghost is my main channel, so check me out there if you're interested, regardless of where you're watching, and give me a follow there. YouTube.com/@withghost is my YouTube channel. Give me a subscription there. Like the video. Twitch.tv/@officialwithghost is the Twitch one, so check me out there. And I'm also live on X. So if you're following me on X, and you're watching this on X, go to Rumble and follow me there, as Rumble is the best place. I would like to give a shout out to Reb1921Fly for the follow on Rumble. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping I have. Yeah, that's all I got. Trying to think. Just trying to think. Yeah, I think that's all I got. All right. So let's get into it and let's check out Trump's first speech regarding his criminal prosecution.
Word that he might stop and make a few comments, and we will dip into that if that happens. This is history happening right before our eyes. Let's listen.
America, nothing like this has ever happened before. There's never been anything like it. Every legal scholar said this case is nonsense. It should never have been brought. It doesn't deserve anything like this. There is no case, and they've said it. People that don't necessarily follow or like Donald Trump said this is an outrage that this case was brought. This is political persecution. This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America. And that's why I'm very proud to be here. This is an assault on our country. And it's a country that's failing. It's a country that's run by an incompetent man who's very much involved in this case. This is really an attack on a political opponent. That's all it is. So I'm very honored to be here. Thank you.
So there you go. That's what Donald Trump has to say about this. It's fairly true. It's never happened before in the history of our the United States, as far as I know. Um, and it's absolutely a political persecution. I mean, hush money, really? That's what we're gonna try and prosecute someone felony for is hush money. Okay, all right, sure. Is it live? Hmm, interesting. Apparently, there's a recusal motion going on. Okay. So apparently, Judge Juan Merchant has notes there's two recusal motions pending, one before him and New York Appeals Court. I'm willing to bet Trump loses both of them. Just gonna take a shot in the dark. Sorry, I'm just checking out. Yeah, doesn't look like you're able to watch it live. Which you think you could, but apparently not. Because why would anyone want to watch this? I have issues with us not being able to watch this live. Um, I know that I used to trust the court system a lot more until I watched the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I probably wouldn't have changed my mind on the how honorable or uh, I probably would. I wouldn't really say honorable, but I don't really have another word. But I I expected more of our criminal justice system, and if I could, or not if I could, but if I was not able to watch it live, I probably would still have a lot more faith in the criminal justice trial, and I think it was due to being able to kind of see the bullshit live on television that I was able to really grasp how much bullshit there is going on. I think that's what we need with the Trump cases. I don't know if he got denied, but I really wish he pushed for. I really wished he pushed for. What's the word I'm looking for? It being like streamed live and stuff, just because come on, it's the smartest thing you can do, in my opinion. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out on any updates and whatnot. All right, so let's go on to World War III. I hope everyone has went and gotten some toilet paper, because we all know that when shit goes down, toilet paper is the main commodity. It's the most important thing. If you don't got the toilet paper, what do you have? Um, every time something bad goes down, and people always end up getting their toilet paper. I mean, am I wrong? What the hell? I just was looking for some live updates. Okay, nothing of interest. All right. But yeah, I hope everyone has went and gotten their toilet paper. So I was just trying to get some live updates I can share right now, whenever there's a lull and stuff. Anyways, not important. But yeah, I hope you got your toilet paper. World War III has started. Iran has launched missiles at Israel. Now we got a few things we'll go over. We're gonna go over CNN's article on why Iran attacked Israel and what comes next. We're gonna watch Imentez Tiap, I don't know, who was reporting live from Tel Aviv, where the air raid sirens were going off, and you can hear them. Basically, he was reporting live when Iran started attacking. So we'll go look at that. We'll get a CBS News article, and Israel's talking smack to Iran, being like, "Yo, you didn't do shit." And then finally, we'll end on Fox, and Iran apparently has offered Israel off ramp to conclude attack after launching missiles. So that's what we're going to cover for World War III. Let's get into it. All right, so why Iran attacked Israel and what comes next. The wave of drones and missiles that flew towards Israel overnight on Sunday brought with it a new phase of tension, uncertainty, and confrontation in the Middle East. Iran launched an unprecedented attack in response to a suspected Israeli strike on an Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria, earlier this month. It marked a new chapter in a discord between the two states that predicated whatever for years, and it's spiraled since Israel declared war on Hamas last October. Next steps remain up, but Israel is facing pleas from its allies to step back from the brink of open warfare and choose a path of de-escalation. Here's what you need to know. How did Iran attack Israel? More than 300 projectiles, including 170 drones and 120 ballistic missiles, were fired towards Israel in the immense aerial attack overnight. So that's what, 290? So I guess, okay. Approximately 350 rockets were fired from Iran, Iraq, Yemen, and Lebanon's Hezbollah, according to Israeli Defense Force spokesperson Daniel Hagari. However, 99% of the projectiles were intercepted by Israel's aerial defense system. I think this is known as the Iron Dome, and its allies, according to Israeli military, with only a small number reaching Israeli territory. That's what they claim, at least. See, yeah, so it's the Iron Dome. I believe that's what their aerial defense system is called, the Iron Dome. And apparently, the U.S. was involved in taking down some of those rockets and drones. Tehran targeted the Navatim air base, an Iranian army official said on Sunday, alleging this is where Israel's early April strike on the Iranian consulate was launched from. Iranian ballistic missiles that reached Israel fell on the airbase in the south of the country and caused only light structural damage, Hagari said. The base is functioning and continuing to its operations following the attack, and with planes continuing to use the base, Hagari added. A senior U.S. military official told reporters Sunday that the U.S. assessed there's no significant damage within Israel itself. U.S. ships in the eastern Mediterranean Sea destroyed between 4 and 6 Iranian ballistic missiles during the attack, and aircraft in the region shot down more than 70 Iranian one-way UAVs heading towards Israel. The U.S. Patriot missile battery shot down one ballistic missile in the vicinity of Erbil, Iraq, officials said. Why did the attack take place? Israel and Iran are long-standing rivals and been engaging in a shadow war for years. Israel's war with Hamas, waged since the militant group attacked Israel on October 7th, has heightened those tensions. Iranian-backed forces in Iraq and Syria have launched attacks aimed at U.S. military positions in those countries, and Iran's leadership has warned the attack by its allies won't stop until Israel's war in Gaza ended. But fear of spiral regional war spiked further in early April when Iran accused Israel of bombing its diplomatic complex in Syria. The airstrike destroyed the consulate building in the capital Damascus, killing at least 7 officials within, including Mohammed Rezan Zahidi, a top commander in Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard, IRGC, and senior commander Mohammed Hadi Haji Rahami, Iran's former foreign minister, said at the time. Okay. Zahidi, former commander of the IRGC's ground forces, air forces, and the deputy commander of its operations, was the most high-profile Iranian target killed since then U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the assassination of IRGC General Qasem Soleimani in Baghdad in 2020. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said Israel would be punished for the attack, while President Ibrahim Raisi said it would go unanswered. State news agencies IRNA reported the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah said the strikes would be met with punishment and revenge. The region has been on edge ever since, with the U.S. and Israeli warning of intelligence that an Iranian attack was imminent. How has Israel and its allies responded to the Iranian strike? Israel reacted angrily to the unprecedented strikes. Military response. Defense Ministry Yoav Gallant said that the attack had been thwarted. The attack had been thwarted this attack in a way that is unparalleled, but added we must be prepared for every scenario. In his first comment, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We intercepted and we have contained. Together we shall win." But Israeli allies in the West urged the country to work to de-escalate the crisis rather than respond in a way that could tip the situation into open warfare. U.S. President Joe Biden spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. I don't know I'm saying his name correctly. I don't care. And made clear that the U.S. would not participate in any offensive operations against Iran. Yeah, I doubt that. Senior White House administration official told CNN. Benjamin Biden told Netanyahu he should consider the events of Saturday night a win, as Iran's attack has been largely unsuccessful, and instead demonstrated Israel's remarkable capacity to defend against and defeat even unprecedented attacks. After a virtual meeting Sunday, leaders of the G7 condemned in a joint statement the Iranian attack, which it said risked provoking uncontrollable regional escalation. We demand that Iran and its proxies cease their attack, and we stand ready to take further measure now and in response to further destabilizing initiatives. Hold on. What happens next? The decisions made by Israeli war cabinet will dictate the immediate next step. One of the members, Benny Gantz, said Israel will exact a price from Iran in a way and a time that suits us. Israeli government hardliners have called for firm action. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich urged a response that resonated throughout the Middle East, and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir said Israel should go crazy. An hours-long war cabinet meeting on Sunday ended without a decision on how Israel will respond, according to an Israeli official. Sorry, showing some now. One of the key dilemmas facing the cabinet is determining how quickly Israel should respond. The officials said the Israeli military has been tasked with coming up with additional options for a response. Israel told the United States that it's not looking for a significant escalation with Iran. A senior Biden administration told reporters Sunday they are looking to protect themselves and defend themselves, the officials said. On Sunday, Iran said a new equation in its adversarial relation with Israel has been opened and warned of a much bigger assault on the country should Netanyahu decided on a tit-for-tat attack. We decided to create a new equation, which is that from now on, the Zionist regime attacks our interests, assets, personalities, civilians, anywhere and at any point, we will retaliate against them. The commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC Hassani Salami, told Iranian state TV the Zionist regime is a term Iran uses to refer to Israel. So there we go. God damn. It's heating up in the Middle East. Get your toilet paper, people. Get it. Get it. Get it. All right. So there we go. So that's the background information on all of this. It's interesting. It's very interesting. But what can you do? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. There's a lot that could happen. We could end going into World War III. I doubt it, but couldn't more than likely not. But it's interesting to see what's going on regardless. All right. So let's watch giving his report, and air raid sirens go off while he's doing his report. Let's watch that. I'm sure I'll enjoy seeing the oh shit look. Oops. There.
In the last hour alone, we've heard the sound of sirens and loud booms, including in areas right across the country, which has just rattled so many people after dozens of drones and potentially missiles entered Israeli airspace. In fact, I believe we have some footage of that. Again, you can hear the sound of sirens blaring, and you can see some of those interceptions. Now, we understand the U.S., Israel, and the Jordanian military intercepted much of that, and so too has Israel's incredibly sophisticated missile defense systems. We also understand that Israel's war cabinet is meeting in Tel Aviv here at this very hour, and we're also hearing reports that there is at least one casualty. Again, reports that there is at least one casualty. The concern is that could change in the coming hours following this unprecedented attack from Iran on Israel inside Israeli territory, something Iran has never done, but warned it would, as you so rightly said, following last week's strike on its embassy in Damascus, destroying that building and killing that senior commander.
All right. Well, that's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to, I thought it was going to be like him mid-report, and all of a sudden the shit goes down. He's like, oh, fuck. That would have been hilarious. Just to be like, oh shit, air raid, oh fuck. All right. Wasn't anything I thought it was going to be, so kind of disappointing. I really thought, he was midst of his reporting, and all of a sudden air raid sirens were going off. I thought that's what was going to happen, but apparently I don't get that. Not that lucky. Okay, all right. So Israel says Iran's missiles and drones. We'll look through this. CNN kind of covered this, so if it doesn't do anything real new, then we're just gonna move on. Air raid sirens and loud booms sounded across. Across Israel Saturday evening after Iran launched a barrage of missiles and drones at the country in a retaliatory attack. But Israeli officials said the assault was almost entirely thwarted by air defense system with the help of U.S. and Israel's other allies. More than 300 missiles and drones were fired from Iran towards Israel. Israel Defense Force Hagari said virtually all the weapons were intercepted before entering Israeli territory. He reported only minor damage to one military base from the few ballistic missiles that landed in the country. Hagari confirmed that a 10-year-old girl has been severely injured by shrapnel. That's unfortunate, but said, as far as we know, there are no additional casualties. The Iranian threat met the aerial technology and superiority of the IDF, along with a strong fighting coalition, which together intercepted the overwhelming majority of the threat. 99% of the threats launched towards Israel's territories were intercepted, and a very significant strategic achievement, Hagari said. The IDF said in a separate earlier statement posted on social media that there were some injuries from the Iranian launched missiles, including at a military base in southern Israel. But the full statement released later by Hagari made no mention of casualties. Very little damage caused. very little damage was caused. Israeli Defense Minister Yvonne Gallant said in a statement earlier Sunday, lauding his own forces and Israeli Americans and other international partners for having thwarted this attack in an oppressive manner. Let's see. So apparently 170 drones were launched. 0 crossed into Israeli territory. He said every one of the 30 cruise missiles fired by Iran would also fail to reach Israeli territory, with 25 being intercepted by Israeli fighter jets. Out of over 120 ballistic missiles, only a few crossed into Israeli territories, with the rest being intercepted. These fell at the Nevatim Air Force Base, causing only minor damage to infrastructure. Then the U.S. shot down 5 ballistic missiles. Oh, no, sorry. 5 ballistic missiles got through Israeli and U.S. air defense and impacted Israeli territory. 4 landed in the Air Force Base, where Israeli F-35s are based, which U.S. officials say was Iran's primary target. 1 missile hit a runway, another hit an empty hangar, third hit a hangar that was no longer in use. Another ballistic missile appeared to be aimed at a radar site in northern Israel, but it missed. Of the 120 ballistic missiles fired by Iran, roughly half failed or on launch or crashed in flight, according to one of the U.S. officials. Iranian attack was designed to saturate Israeli and U.S. air defense with drones and cruise missiles, clearing the way for the ballistic missiles. U.S. aircraft operated out of bases in Jordan and Saudi Arabia were waiting for the drones and shot down between 70 to 80 of them, with some aircraft shooting down more than one drone. The U.S. United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting, convening at Israel's request. Statement released last Saturday night. Biden condemned Iranian assault, the Islamic Republic first ever direct attack on Israel, and said the U.S. had helped Israel take down nearly all the incoming drones and missiles. U.S. forces in the region intercepted dozens of missiles and UAVs en route to Israel, launched from Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said separately. The president disclosed that over the last week, U.S. forces have moved aircraft and ballistic missile defense destroyers into the region in anticipation of the attack. Israel. Interesting. Why did they anticipate an attack? Whatever. Israel closed its airspace at midnight and fully activated its air defense system ahead of the Iranian attack. It took several hours for the drones to reach Israeli airspace. Alerts began to sound across Israel at about 2 a.m. local on Sunday. The IDF said alarms went off in southern Israel by the Dead Sea, in Jerusalem and Shamram area. Let's see. Iran's mission to United Nations said on social media the attack was in response to its strikes in Syria, and it added that matters can be deemed concluded. However, should Israeli regime make another mistake, Iran response will be considered more severe. The mission added that its conflict between Iran and the rogue regime is safe. It is a conflict between Iran and the rogue Israeli regime from which the U.S. must stay away. Our response will be much larger than tonight's military actions if Israeli retaliates against Iran. The Islamic Republic Chief of Staff, Major General Mohammed Bagheri, told Iran State TV. He warned that if the U.S. were to back any Israeli retaliations for the overnight assault, it would lead to targeting U.S. bases in the regime. Yeah, that'd be a bad idea, Mike. Mr. Biden. I do love CBS. They're like slyly showing their disrespect, their disdain for Biden. They're calling him Mr. Biden instead of President Biden. Like it's kind of clear. They really don't like Biden. Let's see. Mr. Biden returned to the White House on Sunday in anticipation of an imminent attack by Iran. Following a lengthy meeting with the National Security Council, he spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Saturday evening. Let's see. Ironclad commitment to the security of Israel. Yeah. A bunch of smoke blowing up their asses. All right. Nothing really interesting more on this. Let me look at this. All right. This Fox News thing isn't very interesting. It's just more on the Iran telling U.S. to stay away. So nothing too interesting. All right. So got two short clips. One of Speaker Johnson, one of President Trump. So let's look at those both. And then we'll get into what the SAVE Act, the new SAVE Act is. The Chip Roy SAVE Act. The reason I say the new or, really define it is because there's other SAVE Acts with different meanings. So that's why I'm trying to distinguish two. All right, let's see what Speaker Johnson has to say.
But among the problems that flows from this open border catastrophe is directly related to this threat to our election integrity. Why is that? You need to understand something really important about federal law. Since 1993, the National Voter Registration Act, we call it the Motor Voter Law, allows people to sign up to vote when they get a driver's license. If an individual only asserts or simply states that they are a citizen, they don't have to prove it. They can register that person to vote in a federal election. And you see, states are currently prohibited, believe it or not, the states are prohibited from asking someone to prove that they're a citizen. The federal voter registration form just has a check-a-box, and if you do that, you're good. The states can't allow it. Well, we think that's a serious problem. And so what we're going to do is the House Republicans are introducing a...
Does that not sound insane to you guys? Like, all you need is go get a driver's license and then check that you're able, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen or whatever, and you're able to vote in our elections. Doesn't that sound insane? Don't you not like that? I don't understand, because I know from what I see, it's mainly a voter ID law, basically, act or whatever. And there's always that, voter ID is racist, blah, 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 blah. But don't you all have a problem, okay, with it? Don't you hey, I really don't like this. I don't like the fact that there are people that can come in and vote in our elections, or even not even like they do, but there's a potential that they can vote in our elections, and there's not fuck all we can do about it. Like, does this not bother anyone else? Does it irritate anyone else?
Bill that will require proof of citizenship to vote. It seems like common sense. I'm sure all of us would agree. We only want U.S. citizens to vote in U.S. elections. But there are some Democrats who don't want to do that. We believe that one of their designs, one of the reasons for this open border, which everybody asks all around the country, why would they do this? Why would they allow all this chaos? Why the violence? Because they want to turn these people into voters. Right now, the administration is encouraging illegals to go to their local welfare office to sign up for benefits. Well, guess what? When you go to a welfare office, they also ask you if you would like to register to vote. And so many people, we think, are going to do that. And you know what? The numbers are so high. There's so many millions of illegals in the country that if only 1 out of 100 voted, they would cast potentially hundreds of thousands of votes in the election. That could turn an election. This could be a tight election in our congressional races around the country. It could, if there are enough votes, affect the presidential election. And so that's why House Republicans are going to act. I'm going to announce to you today, here standing alongside President Trump, that we will do everything within our power to ensure that we do have free and fair elections in this country. If we don't have that in a constitutional republic, we have nothing. It's the basis of who we are as a nation, and we owe that to the American people.
All right, there you go. So let's see what Trump has to say, and then we'll go into what the SAVE Act actually has.
Do you support Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, or do you stand behind Peter Johnson?
We're getting along very well with the speaker, and I get along very well with Marjorie. We have a speaker. I put it in, and it was a complicated process, and I think it's not an easy situation for any speaker. I think he's doing a very good job. He's doing about as good as you're going to do, and I'm sure that Marjorie understands that. She's a very good friend of mine, and I know she has a lot of respect for the speaker.
Do you support Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, or do you stand behind Peter Johnson?
Okay, I don't really know what. All right. So there we go. So those are the various talks or words. Oh, god damn it. Same thing. Why the hell is that on the top? All right. So this is SAVE Act, section by section. This is from Representative Chip Roy, Texas 21, District 21, I'm assuming, or whatever. Section 1, short title. This act must be cited as the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act or the SAVE Act. Section 2, ensure only citizens are registered to vote in elections for federal office. Amend the National Voter Registration Act to require states to obtain documentary proof of citizenship to register an individual to vote in an election for federal office. Definition of documentary proof of U.S. citizenship defines documentary proof of U.S. citizenship in the NVRA to require both verification of identity and citizenship. Certain documents satisfy both the documentary proof of citizenship and identity requirements. A form of identification issued consistent with the requirements of the Real ID Act of 2005 that indicates the applicant is a citizen of the United States. A valid United States passport, a military identification card, together with a United States military record of service shows the applicant's birthplace is in the United States. A valid government-issued photo identification card issued by a federal, state, or tribal government showing the application's place of birth was the United States. In the event of an application does not have any of the above, they must provide a government-issued photo ID in addition to one of the following: a certified birth certificate issued by a state, a unit of local government in the state, or a tribal government that meets certain criteria. An extract from a United States hospital record of birth created at the time of the applicant's birth, which indicates that applicant's place of birth was in the United States. A final adoption decree showing the applicant's name that the applicant's place of birth was in the United States. A consular report of birth abroad of a United States citizen, or a certification of an applicant's report of birth of a United States citizen issued by the Secretary of State. A naturalization certificate or certificate of civilian citizenship issued by the Secretary of Homeland Security, or any other document or method of proof of United States citizenship issued by the federal government pursuant to the Immigration and Nationality Act. An American Indian card issued by the Department of Homeland Security with the classification KIC. Amends national procedure for voter registration for elections for a federal office. Amends the national procedures in the NVRA to clarify that states may not register an individual to vote in an election of federal office under any method unless the applicant provides documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. Registration with application for motor vehicle driver's license clarifies that DMV must obtain documentary proof of U.S. citizenship to register an individual to vote in an election for federal office. Clarifies on the DMV form that if an individual does register to vote, the form can be used as evidence in criminal proceedings or immigration proceedings if an individual knowingly registers to vote but is ineligible to do so. Requiring documentary proof of United States citizenship with National Mail Voter Registration Form. Requires an individual that elect to register to vote in an election for federal office by mail to produce documentary proof of citizenship in person for their registration to take effect. If an individual is registered to vote by mail, the individual will not be considered as having registered to vote until they present documentary proof of citizenship to the proper state officials in person by the date prescribed by the state. Applicants will be notified of this requirement. If a state allows election day registration, an applicant registration to vote must present documentary proof of citizenship at the time. Requires states to make reasonable accommodation for an individual with disabilities that registered to vote by mail to satisfy documentary proof of citizenship requirements. Requires states to take the steps necessary to inform residents of the documentary proof of citizenship requirement. Requirements for voter registration agencies. Clarifies that the documentary proof of citizenship requirements applies to applicants that register to vote in an election for federal office at federal registration agencies like Welfare Office. Clarifies receipts of documentary proof of citizenship is a voter registration agency must provide. Requires agency officials to inquire about citizenship status before providing voter registration form to an applicant. Requires, with respect to administration of voter registration, updates state requirements for federal election voter registration to include obtaining documentary proof of citizenship. Prohibits states from registering by any method any individual to vote in an election for federal office unless the individual provides documentary proof of citizenship. Directs states to establish a procedure to register United States citizens to vote in federal elections that do not have the documentary proof of citizenship necessary to register to vote under this act due to religious reasons or otherwise. In such cases, the applicant would be required to provide additional evidence supporting the citizenship status and sign an attestation that they are a United States citizen under penalty of perjury. Further, the election officials with the determination in this process would be required to sign an affidavit developed by the Election Assistance Commission's EAC that the applicant has satisfied the minimum standards set by the EAC to confirm they are a United States citizen despite not having the documentary proof required by this act. Directs states to establish a process subject to EAC guidelines for individuals to register to vote if they have discrepancies in their proof of citizenship documents, i.e., if a name on the individual's ID and birth certificate do not match due to a name change. Requires states to take an ongoing steps to ensure that only United States citizens are registered to vote on their existing voter rolls by creating a program to do so within 30 days of enactment. Empowers states to do this by providing no-cost access to Department of Homeland Security's DHS SAFE system, the Social Security number verifications, and other database. Also directs DHS to determine whether to conduct removal proceedings if a non-citizen has been identified as having to register to vote in federal elections. Directs states to remove any non-citizen identified as having registered to vote for federal office from their voter rolls. Clarifications of authorities of states to remove non-citizens from official list eligible voters. Amid the NVRA, to clarify, states have the authority to remove non-citizens from their voter rolls by amending the statutes governing the practice. How much longer is this? So, I mean, so far, none of this seems really unreasonable. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who doesn't think this is any unreasonable? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of touts of racism and shit, but none of this really seems that unreasonable to me. Let's see. Contents of federal mail voter registration form. Make updates to the federal mail voter registration form to reflect the amendments made by this bill. Requires that the federal form to include an explanation of the documentary proof of citizenship requirements to register to vote in federal elections. Update the form to include a section by the state or local officials to record the type of documentary proof of citizenship provided by the individuals who register to vote. Clarifies on the form that if an individual does register to vote, the form can be used as evidence in a criminal proceedings or immigration proceedings if an individual knowingly registers to vote but is ineligible to do so. Private right of action. Amend the existing private right of action in the NVR to clarify a citizen can bring a civil suit against a U.S. An election official that registers an applicant to vote in a federal election who fails to provide documentary proof of citizenship. Criminal penalties. Amend the criminal penalty sections of the NVRA to include registering an applicant vote in a federal election for federal office who fails to provide documentary proof, and individuals found guilty are fined in accordance with Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. Applications of requirements to states. Clarify that the 6 states currently exempt from NVR are not exempt from documentary proof of citizenship required under this bill. It does not subject those states to the other provisions of the NVRA. However, so this one here, it looks like there's 6 states that are exempt from NVRA, but they still be required to get documentary proof of citizenship, but they won't be subject to any other provisions, just the specific provisions. The amendments made by this act shall take effect on the date of enactment. Is effective date. Election Assistant Commission guidance requires the EAC to adopt and transmit to states any guidance necessary to implement the act within 10 days of the bill's enactment. And applicability of Paperwork Reduction Act exempts any updates to federal forms or new forms required under Section 2 from the Paper Reduction Act to ensure timely updates to development of such forms. So this is a SAVE Act. I can't find anything that anyone should be offended by. I mean, a lot of the stuff you have to have is generally. I mean, a lot of the stuff you require, you kind of already need to have for a lot of shit. So I don't understand how anything. There's even one for citizens. You got to have your national certificate or certificate of citizenship if you're a citizen but not born in the U.S. You need your birth certificate. Everyone should probably have their birth certificate. It doesn't cost that much to get one. And then for mail-in vote, I mean, they cover mail-in voting. Still need to go. You need to go in person to a state official and provide proof of citizenship. There's guidelines and help to make the transition as smooth as possible. But this is government, so it's not going to be smooth regardless. But there's at least an attempt to help. I can't find anything that anyone could really find distasteful or like I generally can't see anything. It's interesting. Now, I think this, I mean, come on. I don't they should I mean, I think this should have been done a lot sooner. So the fact that they took forever to get it done is, just telling itself. But we'll see. I can't see anything that anyone could truly be like, oh, this is terrible. I don't see it. Um, yeah, I mean, all everything I read seemed fairly reasonable. I'm sure there's going to be outrage. I wonder if there's any outrage in this. Hold on. I don't see any. I mean, there's a quick Google search, and no one is super angry about it. So, again, I think everything in that act is reasonable. Um, and yeah, I can't find anything that I like anyone to really disagree with, honestly. But I mean, if you do, you do. There's nothing you can do about it. Um, just a quick update on update in Trump trial. The prosecutors try to get the Access Hollywood video. That's where the one where he's like, "Oh, they'll let you grab him by the pussy and shit." It's that one that everyone keeps misquoting. He's also not allowing the E. Jean Carroll deposition to come in. Now the prosecutors are trying to introduce evidence about the allegation of sexual assault against Trump. So after Access Hollywood came out, there was 3 women that came forward with allegations of sexual assault. I don't see how this has to do anything with the trial itself, because this whole trial is about hush money and Trump trying to apparently is being accused of yeah, there we go. Um yeah, I don't see how any of like the allegations itself have to do with the trial. The trial is, did Trump use campaign? What is it? Yeah, So Trump's charged 34 felony counts for falsifying business records for his alleged role in hush money schemes to silence his alleged mistress, and yeah. So that's the case, and the judge so far has seemed fairly reasonable. He's denied the allegations of evidence, denies the requests to include evidence about allegations of sexual assault. So he seems to be fairly reasonable. Let's see. Yeah. So far, I'm looking at this, and the judge seems to be fairly reasonable. Because again, like he denied the Access Hollywood video, he's denied the including evidence about allegations of sexual assault, and he said he will not allow Trump to be prejudiced by a rumor. It has nothing to do with the trial itself. He is allowing tapes where Trump denies the allegations at rallies to be admitted. Again, I don't think this has anything to do with the trial itself. The trial is, did Trump or did Trump lie or falsify his business records to provide money to Michael Cohen for the hush money? That's what this trial is about. The fact that any sexual assault stuff is coming in is prejudice itself. It's dumb. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. I know we all love talking about her. Vice President Kamala Harris laid into former President Donald J. Trump over abortion rights at a campaign rally in Arizona on Friday, accusing him of being directly responsible for a court decision this week that upheld the state's 160-year-old near total ban on abortion. Overturning Roe, if I remember right, Trump's position on abortion is basically, and we'll see whether they mention this, is it's a state's issue. Let the states decide. That's what it generally, that's what I remember seeing. So we'll see if this covers it, but let's keep the mind open that Trump's abortion stance was it's up to the states. Okay. Overturning Roe was just an opening act, Miss Harris. Again, CBS, or what is this? New York Times. Yeah, it really just really shows that New York Times, CBS, they don't respect these and I'm kind of new to all this stuff, to like really doing some research and looking in and stuff. And it seems to me that they like even no, never mind. No, I'm just looking at right here. Oh no, she's just quoting. Okay, maybe it's just because of the quote. But it seems like that the New York Times, CBS, they don't actually respect Harris or Biden as the president, because they just named her Miss Harris. She is the current vice president, so technically the proper thing is Vice President Harris. So it's interesting. It's just interesting. I keep noticing that in a lot of articles that it's always Miss or Mr. Biden or Harris. Maybe that's fairly common. I don't think so, but we'll see. Miss Harris told a crowd of several dozen supporters at a community center in Tuscany, Arizona, just the opening act of a larger strategy to take women's rights and freedom, part of a full-on attack state by state on reproductive freedom. We all must understand who is to blame. Former President Trump did this. Miss Harris went on to call abortion restrictions in states like Arizona Trump's abortion bans. This week, the Arizona Supreme Court ruled that an 1864 law banning almost all abortions without exceptions for rape or incest should be enforced, although not right away. Doctors could face prosecutions under law, which dates to a time before Arizona became its state. The court's decision came a day after Trump said that abortion should be left to states, underscoring the unfavorable political terrain for Republicans on the issues. As president, Mr. Trump appointed 3 of the Supreme Court justices who voted to overturn Roe v. Wade in 2022, which has led to a proliferation of abortion bans across red states. Democrats, led by Ms. Harris, has seized on the Arizona law. The Biden campaign released a new message campaigning within tagline, Trump did this. Donald Trump did this. Abortion rights groups in Arizona have set up rallies around the states, which has a race for an open Senate seat this year and could determine control of the chamber. This is a very, very scary week for our state of Arizona, said Representative Ruben Gallego, a Democrat who's running for Senate seat against Kari Lake, a Republican. Tuesday's decision rocked all of us. We now have the nation's most extreme abortion ban. Okay, move out of the state then. Democratic candidates nationwide are focused on abortion in their races, buoyed by the knowledge that the issue has propelled their party to a series of unexpected victories over the last 2 years. Abortion is one of the few issues on which President Biden polls better than Trump. than Mr. Trump. Well, hey, they call him President Biden. Mr. Trump says he does not support the Arizona law, as well as other extreme restrictions, such as a 6-week ban in Florida. He has argued that supporting those bans is hurting Republicans at the ballot box, but his allies have made plans to use the federal government to limit abortions should they win the White House. In Tuscany, Ms. Harris refers to those plans, which the New York Times has reported would rely on enforcing the Cornstalk Act. Here's what a second Trump term looks like, Miss Harris said. More bans, more suffering, less freedom. Why don't you just keep your legs closed, ladies? Just like he did in Arizona, he basically wants to take America back to the 1800s. Shame! The crowd cried out as she described the potential impact of the 1864 law. For Miss Harris, the prominence of abortion in the presidential race is a chance to expand her profile as vice president, as well as her presence on the campaign trail. Last month, she became the highest-ranking officials known to visit an abortion clinic. Kamala Harris has become the abortion czar of the Biden administration, Carol Tobias, the president of the National Right to Life Committee, an anti-abortion group, said in a statement, instead of joining with the pro-life movement to build programs and safety nets to help promote real solutions for women and their preborn children, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have engaged in fear-mongering and propaganda. Well, that's all they can do. They don't really have a good argument. Miss Harris may make for more of a natural messenger on abortion than Mr. Biden, an 81-year-old practicing Catholic, not really Catholic, who has long expressed personal discomfort with the procedures, even as he has become a committed supporter of abortion rights. He uses the word abortion when speaking on Friday, in contrast to Miss Harris leaned into the issue. In the United States, she argued, freedom includes the right to make decisions about one's own body, not have the government telling people what to do. Not telling you what to do, telling you what you can't do. You can't kill a baby. Well, actually, it's really just the states. Now, I would be against any law that tries to punish an individual from going to a different state and getting an abortion. I'd be against that. I am in favor of any law that bans abortion, fine by me. But I'm against any law that sorry. But I'm against any law that would like I said, I'm against any law that would punish any individual that went across state line to procure an abortion. If you're in a different jurisdiction of a state, you can do what that state says. So, for example, if you're in Texas and they have a total, or if you're in Arizona, you have a total ban on abortion, should be more than welcome to move to drive to a different state, neighboring state, California, whatever, get an abortion, come back, and not face any prosecution. So if there's any law out there that does that, totally against. I think a lot of states and most states have abortion laws that allow for exceptions of like the death of the mother or death of the child already. I think most states have those laws, and that should be a law that definitely should go forth with abortion. You can get an abortion if you're at risk of death by the mother, or if the pregnancy could result in death of the mother or the death of the child as is. So if if it's going to end up dying before it reaches full term or anything, abortion should be legal. If the mother's going to die at some point, like due to if the pregnancy continues, should be an abortion. I think that's something very consistent we can all agree on. And let's be honest, those are very rare exceptions, so it doesn't do anything except doesn't really affect anything. The majority of abortions, let's be honest, the majority of abortions are because it's really an avoidance of responsibility. So it really is. I want to keep partying, so I'm going to get an abortion. That's what the majority of it. I can't provide financially for it. I'm going to get an abortion. I want to live my life. I'm going to get an abortion. like I think it was like less than it's like 1% combined of rape, incest, and health of the mother. That's like I think it's 1%, maybe 1.5. I'll be even generous. I'll put 2%. It's about 2%, and I'm being generous of life of the mother, um, and rape incest. I'm being generous there too. So I'd be down with just that 1% of life and death of the mother, death of the baby already. Like if we keep those and eliminate it all, hey, I don't think there's be a huge issue. Um, Hell, I mean, if we even do rape and incest, we allow those and then eliminate it all. Don't think it's a big deal either. I think there would be a lot of requirements when it comes to rape and incest. There'd be a lot of requirements. First off, an actual proof. But I don't want to get into that. But I would say that definitely life and death of the mother. If we can just agree on that, I don't think there's any issues from there. So, but I mean, Trump admits is like, I don't like a lot of these laws, but I think it's up to the states to decide this. I think that's a good position. I think it's a fairly good position to have. Like, I don't agree, but I'm going to leave it up to the states. That's what we decided. And I think to the states where it's belong. I can disagree with what states do, but I think to the states is where all this belongs. I think for Republicans, it's the best thing for us. Let's don't be doing all this. Let's do a federal ban or anything. Let's not do any of that. Let's just leave it up to the states because guess what? Pretty soon, I mean, it'll take a while, but eventually, the states that have a ban on abortion, they're gonna start outnumbering the states that have an abortion because they're killing all their kids, while the states that have a ban on abortion are keeping all their kids. So more constituents, more people, ends up changing a lot of things for people. So I call that a win. But yeah, so all right, moving on. Last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about Fannie Willis a little bit. We'll see how interesting this goes. If it doesn't become that interesting, I'm just going to end it real quick. The Department of Justice discovered alleged inconsistencies in Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis' use of some federal grant money, according to a new report. Willis has risen to national prominence for leading the Georgia election interference investigation against former President Trump, President Donald Trump. Her probe focused on his call to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, in which he urged him to find enough votes to tilt the election in his favor, as well as the alleged plot to submit a false slate of pro-Trump electors to the Electoral College. Okay, let's get this correct. He wasn't urging him to make up to, and this was clear by the phone call. It wasn't let's make votes appear out of nowhere. It was, you're presenting us with this number. We believe it's actually this number, and could we see how you got to your number so we know how you went wrong, how we went wrong. That's what the basis of the phone call was. It wasn't make a bunch of votes magically appear. It was, we believe it's this number. You're saying it's that number. We think there's more votes out there. Could you go and find them? It wasn't saying make the votes appear out of thin air. It's like they're somewhere there. Why don't you look for them? Trump pled not guilty to all charges and accused Willis of targeting him for political purposes. Of course, that's why she targeted him. Since launching Trump investigation, her conduct has faced heightened scrutiny from conservative critics, including congressional Republicans, who raised questions about her use of federal funds. Also, there's that point on the stand where she said, "Oh, I took campaign funds and put it to the side for my personal use." There's also that. Justice Department confirmed in a statement first reported by the Washington Free Beacon that some inconsistencies have been found in her use of these funds. During our review of the awards to respond to respond to this inquiry, we've noticed some inconsistencies in what Fulton County has reported to the federal sub-award reporting system, and we are working with them to update the reporting accordingly. The Justice Department spokesperson told the conservative publication. Specific details about the inconsistency were found. What the specific grant was intended for, or what the funds may have been used for, remain unconfirmed. See, so Willis has previously sparred with Representative Jim Jordan, the Ohio Republican who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, over her office's use of grant funds. In February, Jordan and the House Judiciary Committee issued a subpoena to Willis's office requesting documents relating to her office's receipt and use of federal funds, threatening to hold her in contempt of Congress if she did not provide further documents by March 28th. In her own letter, Willis responded that her office has already provided you with substantial information about our programs that are funded via federal grants. Further, as I expressed to you in my letter dated February 23, 2024, this office is in the process of producing relevant documents to you on a rolling basis and is undertaking a good faith approach to provide you with responsive information about our federal grant funding. Her office also wrote that Jordan's request for extensive document demands is unreasonable and uncustomary and would require this government office to divert resources from our primary purpose of prosecuting crime. She added that Jordan's efforts will not derail the Trump's election interference case. So there we go. There's some inconsistencies. It doesn't surprise me there's some inconsistencies, considering the fact she said during trial, in the middle of her hearing, that she takes campaign funds and put it to the side for her own personal use. Like, come on. Like, I love how everyone breezed over this, really. It was completely and utterly breezed. Everyone's like, oh, this is so terrible. Oh, this is so terrible. Oh, this is so terrible. And it's hilarious. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's kind of hilarious. Oh, man. So, basically, for the article, DOJ says, yeah, it looks like there are some inconsistencies. We're working on them for them to show, to fix it. So basically, look at what it is. And that's all it's really seen. It's kind of hoping for a bigger bombshell, but it wasn't. Not a big deal. There we go. So that's the end of it. Hold on. All right. So I don't know if anyone knows about this, but this is Elias Jordan, an ex-Howard Show star. She was viral. She went viral. This video where she just ends up smacking her boyfriend, and then he basically puts her in headlock, and she screams. And apparently now she's trying to play the victim. I was gonna cover this, but then it kind of fell off, so it wasn't that important. But let's listen to this. Come on, let's listen to this.
Calling me. I thought, how does this guy have time to call me all day and all night and watch my stream for 6 to 8 hours and then have people on the side? I just didn't think that was possible. In that scenario, turning on a live stream is, to me, so to many people, it's the worst thing on earth to do, right? A lot of people would say that now because of what happened. But imagine I did not turn it on. Imagine I did not turn on that live stream and the same thing happened. I could be dead right now. I was thrown in the road
after you assaulted this man. If I remember right, she hit him a couple times. before he finally retaliated. Like, imagine the live stream wasn't on and this happened, and then you accuse him of unprecedented of assaulting you for no reason. I bet that would have been far more likely to happen.
I was thrown like out of my car onto the road and strangled. And my hair, I don't even have any hair. I want to show you this. This is my hair. My hair, if you watch that video, my hair is being like, I don't know if you noticed it, but like back and forth, like I had to, this is my hair. Like I had to cut my hair off because, but the thing is.
You had to cut your hair off for what? Why did you need to cut your hair off? What is this? What are you talking about, lady?
Is I could have been alone in that, and it could have ended up much worse. When I slapped him, I didn't want to kill him. Obviously, I just wanted to slap.
I just wanted to slap her. Just imagine if that's a dude was saying that. I didn't want to kill her. I just wanted to slap her. I wasn't looking to kill her. I was just looking to slap her. Like, what kind of bullshit is this?
That's all I wanted to do. I just was mad. But I felt when he was like strangling me and when he was pulling my hair and like,
because you fucking deserved
shaking my head so violently like a rag doll, I felt that he was trying to kill me. And my God, if I was alone,
maybe he was just trying to stop you from fucking hitting the shit out of him all the fucking time while you're driving.
I could definitely be dead right now. That's how I feel. Women need to feel safe.
Then
that
don't.
Is the number one important thing.
Yeah, if you want to feel safe, don't hit a guy. like I don't remember like the full video, but it didn't seem like this dude was doing anything violent towards her to cause her to fucking hit the guy. If you want to feel safe, don't hit him.
For women, and I could say that for all women, we need to feel safe. We need to trust the person, and we don't want to be that.
Well, maybe the guy wants to trust not to get fucking slapped for no fucking reason, which you apparently were doing.
Kind of person that has to go through someone's phone to find the truth. We want truth. So
how about if you go through a person's phone, you find something you really don't like, instead of hitting them, assaulting them, attacking them, you leave them. Break up with them. Say, peace, I'm out. I saw this on your phone. I don't like it. Deuces. How about you do that instead of assaulting someone because you're mad, because you're an emotional little cunt? Fuck you, lady.
I just think like with everything that happened, I am so like broken by this, and
good. Maybe next time you'll think twice before assaulting someone. Okay? Because guess what? You're talking about all that. You know what else could happen? This could have been a lot worse. All right. He grabbed your hair, yanked you around a bit. You're alive. You're not dead. And all this because you fucking hit him a bunch of times.
I'm so disturbed that, someone like that would come into my life and completely disrupt my life.
What are you talking about? You hit him. I don't give a shit what the reasoning were for you hitting him. And he let you hit him a couple times before he did shit.
And kind of just like he destroyed my life.
No. You didn't destroy your life. You destroyed your own life from being a dumb bitch. Like, what is this? What is this? Oh, man. Oh, man, that's sorry. That drives me nuts. Like, you can't be bitching and moaning after you slap a dude and be wondering, oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, dumb bitch. You fucking dumb cunt. Oh, I'm sorry. That just irritated the ever-living shit out of me. How dare you? Because you know what would more than likely happen is, all right, what's her name? Liza Jordan, whatever her fucking name is. You know what more than likely would have happened if it wasn't on video record? You know what you would have probably done? Not probably. You definitely would have done. You would have went to the cops and said, my boyfriend hit me for no fucking reason, and he'd be in jail. That's what would have happened. Let's be honest. Come on. Like, this is just fucking ridiculous. Goddamn. So fucking irritating. This dumb chick going on and saying, oh, This guy assaulted me for no fucking reason. He had a good reason. You slapped him a couple hundred times before he actually did anything about it. Sounds like a good enough reason to me. Now, that being said, I don't advocate for anyone to hit it. I don't advocate dudes for hitting chicks because it never generally will not end well for you. You'll end up going to jail, regardless of how much she hit you. No matter how many times she hit you, no matter what she did, odds are you'll go to jail and get charged if you hit a woman. So don't hit women. But don't go on live stream and try and defend your. I just wanted to slap him. I didn't want to kill him. So why do you have a right to slap him just because you're angry? Okay, you're lucky he didn't end up beating the shit out of you. At most, he grabbed your hair and let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna turn off the sound. I'm just gonna watch. Come on, you fucker. There you go.
You know, I had to. I was thrown like out of my because it was calling me. I thought, how did?
I'm gonna find it. Let's watch the original video. So I don't have to listen to that dumb bitch. There we go. Sweet. Wonderful. We're gonna watch the original video because I've gotten this bitch pissed me off. That's why. I'm an emotional man right now. This chick pissed me off. So let's watch this original video.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you, Sarah?
Okay. Let's back that up. All right. Just serve it. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Bam, 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 bam. Like, what the fuck is this?
Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you, Sarah? Hi. Nudes and different sentences that he.
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk. Don't.
She slapped him. Okay, so Sarah, I'm assuming, I'm just going off the context. I have no idea. Sorry, getting a little cold here. I'm assuming this is the. I don't know why I'm doing this actually. I can do this on my phone. I'm assuming this is the chick he cheated on her with. I guess.
Yes, Sarah, we're really sorry about this and sending him your way today. So don't worry. But yeah, he's coming. Don't worry, he's coming home.
Elisa. She just like almost broke my nose. She's gonna get arrested.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Fuck you, cunt. Next time you fucking touch me, I'll fucking dick you.
So, she almost broke his nose. According to him, let's be fair. According to him, she almost broke his nose. So then he's like, if you hit me again, I'm going to retaliate. All right. So he's giving her fair warning. Don't hit me again, or I'm going to have retaliate.
You understand, cunt? Hey, no, Sarah, hang up. These idiots. She posted your fucking number in her cancer.
Okay, and now she's doxing some poor lady.
The Discord, and I was just being polite. Yeah, touch me and I fucking dick your dumbass bitch. I'll fucking dick.
Now, say this, dude. If I were you, I'd get out of the goddamn car. But it looks like they're on the highway. Maybe he doesn't have a good opportunity. I'd just tell, like, dude, pull over. First off, I wouldn't let myself get hit, but still, like.
Elisa.
Yes.
As a woman,
the dumb cunt, Sarah, the dumb retard in the middle of a stream session.
Can you please delete my number from the chat?
She's a fucking insane person. She's a fucking
I would stop talking
50-year-old
about
dumb cunt
in
the middle
15.
of the street dancing.
Yeah, Sarah, I heard you had a kid when you were 16. That's what he told me about you.
Yes,
and he said you're a dumb Mexican.
I said she's
and
a dumb
he said
Mexican.
you keep showing up And he says you won't stop texting him, but I saw the text. It's the same shit. Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
She's half your age. She's half your age.
Delete the number, please.
So says, you hit me, if you touch me again, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Our
She's
community-
half
Again,
your
he
age.
goes, grabs his ear, and that's when this started.
Pull over, dumb cunt. Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, please don't. I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Pull over.
Okay,
Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, I'm sorry.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
No, please.
Call 911.
Yeah, you're sorry now that he started attacking you back. Now you're sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Please let me go. Babe, please let me go. No, please, I'm so sorry. Please let me
Oh, you're sorry. Right? Get the fuck
Okay, I'm
out of
getting
here.
out. He's killing me.
He's come on, he's grabbing your hair. He's not killing you.
No.
You know what's funny too? I hold on, let me back this up. I don't think he punched her once. He grabbed her hair. Let me see.
The number, please.
Pull over, dumb cunt. Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, please don't. I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Pull over.
Okay,
Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, I'm sorry.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
No, please.
Call 911.
All he's doing is pulling her hair, actually. Yeah, he's like touching her face and shit, but he hasn't actually stroked her. He hasn't punched her. He's pulling her hair. Hair.
Please, I'm so sorry. Please let
Oh,
me
you're
go.
sorry. Right? Get the fuck
Okay, I'm
out of
getting
here.
out. He's killing me.
He's killing.
No. Okay, I'm getting
And then she claims she was dragged. She wasn't dragged, she was pushed out. Talking about, oh no, no. Get that phone. So there we go. That's the whole video. All right. So this fucking liar, this dumb chick. I feared I was gonna die. You were nowhere even close to being like. You had no reasonable fear. All he did was pull your hair. Okay. Yeah, he messed with your face a bit. I didn't see any strikes. I could have not seen it. I didn't see any strikes, but he just pulled her hair a lot. That's what he did. So, like, shut up. Like, you hit this dude multiple times. He says, look, if you hit me again, I'm going to deck you. And then all he ends up doing, actually, is pulling your hair a bunch. So, you kind of got off easy because he probably, if this was a lot of other dudes, he probably would have broken your face. You felt entitled, so you struck a guy a bunch of times. Don't do that. Guys don't hit chicks. Chicks don't hit guys. Okay? But now she's coming on and doing some big old victim tour. Like, oh, I just wanted to slap him. I didn't want to hit him. Like, I don't care if you found a bunch of other chicks on his. Oh, it's even better. She's been booked in jail after being arrested for felony battery. Good for this guy. Good for this guy. All right. I'm done. That's the end of it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give me a follow. Give me a like. Follow me on Rumble for sure. Check out YouTube. Check out Twitch. Tomorrow, I don't know what we're talking about tomorrow. But tomorrow evening, I will be doing a gaming stream. Going to start trying to game Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Sundays, I'm going to start gaming as well. Hope you all have a good day. Peace out and see you later.